All right, KMR Rotary, welcome back to the channel that's all about the BRAP. We're gonna catch up on my dream build. We're building my dream car, 4-rotor turbo FD3S drift machine. We've been cutting apart the chassis. We got the bodywork in from Japan. Absolutely just fantastic. I love how nice this bodywork is. Everything lines up so good. BN Sports absolutely killing it. We've got some mock-up cooling stuff. So Mishimoto coming through. I ran Mishimoto for years, and they came through. We've got brand new radiators, oil coolers, and intercoolers that we're unboxing and getting ready to mock up. But in the meantime, I was using some of my older stuff to just kind of check out the positioning. So one of the radiators that got some damage in Orlando probably like 10 years ago. I remember that radiator. We're using it for mock-up. The team's also been real hard at work. We cut all the floor out of the back here. Radium is supplying us with a 10-gallon fuel cell with one of their in-tank sump setups. Hopefully that's going to deliver well over 1,000 horsepower worth of fuel. And we're going to do some reinforcement and crash structure back here to protect our taillight area, the fuel cell, the batteries, and other stuff that goes back here. I don't know that I'm actually going to leave the radiator so upright. As we get our fuel system and crash protection back here, I want to bring the weight down. So this whole radiator setup's probably going to drop down. And the one we got from Mishimoto is a little wider. So we're going to have more capacity and cooling and hopefully lower center of gravity than what I'm displaying right here. We've been working on some more dimple die plates. I want this car strong. I want it to look cool. I want it to be safe. I do run into things. And you can see on the front, same idea. Our dimple die plates basically fit in. We're just needing to do some welding and basically have that structure wrapped up. Continuing into front engine bay, our firewall's all tidied up. We've got the 4-rotor leveled out. We're working on our drivetrain orientation, basically the mounting of the transmission and the differential. And up front, we've cleaned up our frame rails. On a lot of my builds, I've actually cut the frame rails back further. But I really liked some of the new builds I've seen. The way RTR, James Dean's cars, they're leaving more of this front frame rail with a little bit of reinforcement and then making a bolt-on front structure that basically is going to contain your intercooler, oil coolers, and is replaceable in case there's any heavy crash damage. And I think it's also nice because if you wipe out your front crash structure and somehow you do get into frame damage, you could always cut some of this frame rail off, still be legal, and then just build more tubular front structure off of it. Up for debate on 4-rotors is the Mazda factory dry sump front cover. Right now, I'm building this car to run one of the high capacity Mazda front covers, but we're working with customers and I'm considering for myself going to one of the aftermarket belt-driven dry sumps, which would be way more typical in the V8 or piston racing world. We see a lot of them on drag cars. They're becoming more popular in rotary racing. There's some upsides, there's some downsides. Maybe we can talk about that in another video. But right now, we've got parts coming in. We've got rotor housings out for machine work. They're getting P-ported. And we've got most of our rotating assembly already ready to go. All the rotors are side cut, lightened, and we're putting all the seals in there. So quickly, this motor is going to go from a mock-up block to something much more serious. And then we can actually start working on our exhaust and our intake manifolding. We actually just had this whole engine bay 3D scanned. I'll see if I can drop that into the video right here. Radium Engineering, my good friend Matt came over, scanned the engine bay. That's going to allow us to not only make a beautiful header for this car, but it will also give us the mapping. So if anybody needs 3-rotor, 4-rotor, custom exhaust manifolding headers, we should be able to do that because we'll have a basic idea of that front engine bay. In the interior, we've also been getting a lot done. Everything's stripped clean, pedals are in there. A lot of people asked about why OEM pedals. Some of the different organizations that we may run this car in do have rules around OEM pedals, although every year those rules are changing. I think As this car evolves, we'll probably go to a racing pedal and racing column setup. But for the time being, working with what we had, it is a budget 4-rotor drift car build. Haha. And working within some of the rules in different organizations, we're going to leave that OEM setup and we can always upgrade later. Have the OEM dash in here for mock-up. That's allowed us to get our seat positioning, nice NRG seat, our steering column orientation, and my basic positioning worked out. Very important. But we've actually got a carbon fiber dash coming in. I'm hopefully going to pick that up this week, so that'll be a great replacement. It's going to be weight reduction. It's going to be cleaner. I've always wanted a carbon fiber FD3S dash. So we're just going to be nice, safe, and lightweight. And once we have dash and seat and pedals, we can start working on our e-brake and shift tower mounting, because the shift tower with HGT is remote mount. We can basically place that wherever we need per my liking. Overall, I'm really happy with the way things are coming out. We've got parts spread out everywhere, subframes out to fabrication, fuel cells coming in, turbos on order, wiring being done, and just a sundry of stuff to do. But I really enjoy building cars. It's never only been about driving them. Part of my joy has always been building custom rotary engines, pushing the performance level in the rotary world, and then testing those builds in my own cars. So once again, this is not only my dream build or my dream car, but this is a test bed for KMR, where we can push the limits of 4 rotors like we pushed the limits of 3 rotors and 13Bs in the past. So I hope everybody has enjoyed this little update. If anybody has questions, drop a comment, hit us up on KyleMohanRacing.com, and please make sure to follow, check out the merch, subscribe, and we will be dropping new videos, new merch, and a new website very soon. So that is a wrap. 4-rotor dream build still underway.